We love vampires for their rich mythology, cultural history, and fun pointy teeth, and also the way they are endlessly reimagined for contemporary tastes. From Bram Stoker to Dracula 2000 to Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation. In this vein, Redfall launches on the 2nd of May 2023, and this open-world first-person vampire shooter has its own ideas about pop culture's favourite bloodsuckers. In fact, the developers have fiddled with some vampire tropes so familiar as to be basically sacrosanct, in order to deliver an original vampire mythos bundled with slick, optionally cooperative gunplay. But don't take our word for it. Slake your terrible thirst for new Redfall gameplay with 7 vampire rules Redfall is happy to break.
I can do this forever.
I came to Redfall to sell some books, meet some fans. Then, I'm running from vampires.
The game Redfall is named for the place Redfall in Massachusetts, where it takes place. This New England island town couldn't be further from a traditionally spooky Transylvanian village in the shadow of a crumbling Dracula castle, because by all accounts Redfall was a wholesome, idyllic slice of small-town American life prior to the vampire takeover. The open world of Redfall is divided into neighbourhoods and dotted with safe houses for you to capture as you take back the town from the vampiric threat. And although there is no giant gothic castle here, there is very much a classic haunted house that awaits you a few hours into the game.
See a few possible entrances.
In customary arcane fashion, the abandoned Addison mansion offers myriad ways in, out, and through for players of all stripes. And though it's not perhaps quite as intricate as Dishonored 2's Clockwork Mansion, the vibes are, as they say, immaculately creepy. Also, if there isn't some kind of ghostly psychic echo flashback thing, are you even playing a game by Arcane?
The lab is gone. Some kind of psychic explosion? Caused by the apotheosis, perhaps. I should be ecstatic. But these cryptids are out here trying to hurt and kill people.
We all know vampires love the nightlife, and during the day, they must slink back to their coffins to sleep through the sunlit hours. But not the vampires of Redfall. These fresh-thinking, blood-drinking innovators have permanently eclipsed the sun with their mighty vampiric power. And as a result, they can vamp it up all day long, protected from direct sunlight, even in the relatively light hours of the day. Lucky for you, they are still highly susceptible to UV light, but you are going to have to provide your own.
Let's see, if I were a scientist turned vampire god, where would I have a lab in my past life?
Probably the monsters of Redfall are a different breed on account of their unusual origins. Rather than being born of an ancient curse or what have you, these befanged folks were created when a biotechnology firm by the name of Avum Laboratories moved into town and started conducting human trials, meaning these vampires are derived from science. On your trip to the aforementioned Addison Mansion, you're on the trail of one such vampire-making scientist, investigating his history of incredibly unwholesome experiments on his daughter.
Papa, I can't keep my eyes open.
Stay awake from me.
So it was the bosses at Avum who turned the town all vampire-y in pursuit of their ultimate goal, which was, of course, eternal life. It couldn't have been a delicious fat-free ice cream, could it?
This one is mine.
Of all the aversions famously ascribed to vampires, garlic is the only one you can buy from the supermarket. But if you were hoping to fend off the vampires of Redfall with a tube of garlic puree, you're plumb out of luck. This being a shooter, you'll have significantly better results with the wide variety of guns on offer, among them automatic weapons with stake bayonets, stake launchers, and flare guns. As a rule, though, you can't just destroy a vampire by shooting them with normal stuff. You will have to burn them up or stake them through the heart to finish them off. That's just vampire hunting basics. But surely, you say, these vampires must be repelled by crosses, holy water, and other such items of faith. Well, sorry again, my friend, because these newfangled vampires couldn't care less. The good news is that in lieu of waving crucifixes, the 4-player characters available to you in Redfall have psychic, telekinetic, and high-tech abilities out the wazoo. There's Jacob Boyer, the goth AF stealthy sniper who has a Raven spotter and a psychic rifle. Then there's Dev Crousley, the career cryptid hunter whose skills include a powerful UV emitter and a homemade teleportation device. Also, you've got Layla Ellison, who can conjure telekinetic elevator-looking bounce pads along with a telekinetic umbrella shield. And finally, Remy De La Rosa, the combat engineer of the team who favours high-tech robotics and low-tech explosives. This being a cooperative game, co-op players are going to have a high time working together while out and about in the open world, benefiting from each other's abilities. Certain other parts of the game, however, feel like they're going to be best experienced in single player for maximum creepy atmos.
This was a little girl's room. But it looks like cultists got to it first. Oh, a dollhouse? Definitely a 10 out of 10 on creepy.
Call me crazy, I prefer to explore a haunted house solo. Wait, that is crazy.
Unimaginably powerful vampires ruling over Redfall. The Hollow Man, Bloody Tom, Miss Whisper, the Black Sun.
If Bram Stoker's Dracula could have changed one thing about being a vampire, you suspect he wished he could fly instead of crawling around on walls like a big weird lizard. For the vampires of Redfall, however, the Dark Gift has brought them the power to float, fly, and hover in the kind of eerie way that would have left Dracula grumbling about how he had to turn into a bat to get off the ground. And that's not the least of these vamps' enhanced abilities. Behold the Angler, one of Redfall's special vampire types, who has both the power of invisibility and a kind of golden lasso for bringing you into blood-drinking range, like a bitey Wonder Woman.
It could have been like me!
Ready. You're dead, homie.
If the Anne Rice vampire novels taught me one thing, it's that you should stop before the one about the lost city of Atlantis. If they taught me two things, though, it's that vampires are sexy, preening, bisexual sex gods whose primary MO is seduction. The Redfall bloodsuckers, on the other hand, have basically no time or need for chatting you up. Not when, for example, the Rook here is a big burly vampire heavy summoned to hit you like a truck when you're making too much trouble. He's not one for sweet talk. Or consider the lookout vampires known as Watchers, which, being skeletons with laser eyes, could not be further from Anne Rice's Prince Lestat.
Let's roll the dice, eh?
There must be some brand of vampiric charisma going on in this town, because you can't walk 2 blocks without happening upon violent human cultists who have fallen under the hypnotic spell of Redfall's mighty vampire gods. But in a word, none of the monsters of Redfall will be named People magazine's Sexiest Vampire Alive 2023. Except, I will grant you the Angler has good hair, and also there's Layla Ellison's vampire ex-boyfriend, who she can summon to slay her enemies. He's kind of a cutie.
See ya, Layla.
Those were 7 vampire rules happily broken by Redfall, which will be on Game Pass when it comes out on the 2nd of May on Xbox and PC. Will you be playing? Let us know, please, in the comments below. Thanks ever so much for watching, and also, if I may be so bold, thank you for liking and subscribing to Outside Xbox.